The anime hero I didn't know I needed. Okay. Let's talk about it. What's up?
You know how every so often a new series comes along and there's that one character who just clicks for some reason?
Yeah.
Right now, that's Rudo from Gachiakuta. At first glance, he
Gachiakuta.
seems familiar, a man seeking revenge against a world that's turned its back on him. But the more you follow his story, the more you realize he's exactly the kind of hero we didn't know we needed. So today, let's dive into why Rudo might be one of the most intriguing new heroes in modern shonen, and why he's
Rudo is gangster. Rudo's tough. He's a great main character. But my obsession and my, fascination has been with the black characters, Jabberwonger, etc., right? So I haven't really seen much videos about Rudo, so I'm interested in seeing this. Let's get it.
someone we may not have known we've been waiting for. So what is it about this guy that stands out? To me, it's obvious. His smile. Look at that thing. No, really, the first thing that stands out is how his story isn't at all what you'd expect from a revenge story. And let me be clear, I adore revenge tales. I could watch them all day. But the way his is handled has stood out. So let's get into why he wants revenge, then explain why it's different. The first image we get of him is collecting trash. It's literally the same. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Between this, our introduction to his father figure Regto, and his friend slash crush Chiwa, we immediately learn he's a kind-hearted person. Then Regto is murdered, he's framed for it, Chiwa turns her back on him, and he's tossed into a literal world of trash below while screaming he's going to kill them all. There's a lot to unpack here. From the get-go, we have so many questions. Why was Regto murdered? Who is the assassin who did it? What's with this whole underbelly world of trash? There are infinite questions to ask here. How can Rudo get back? Will he? It goes on, and each episode invites more questions than answers. And initially, I was really upset at how quickly Chiwa turned on him, but when you think about it, of course she would. Look at their society and culture.
No, I don't jack that, bro, because the whole time, Shorty, listen, in the first episode, they give you the impression that Shorty is like his only friend, okay? Everybody is basically shitting on Rudo. His only friend is essentially this girl and his father figure, okay? She's like, no, they just don't understand you. I understand you. I know you. Me and your father figure, we love you. There's a whole scene where she says, we love you, and he started geeking, like, like you too, right? So the whole time, they're setting this standard where they're saying basically she's his best friend, essentially. And then as soon as he gets in hot water and is being basically held accountable for a crime that he did not commit, this bitch turns on him. Okay? She's like, peace, nigga, I'm out. And just disappears, vanishes. And then Rudo gets sent to oblivion, essentially. That's fucked up, bro. The bitch is fake. Okay, she's fake. She's a fake friend, okay? She's fake as hell. But then again, let me shut up.
There is a literal wall separating the haves from the have-nots. They discard objects at the drop of a hat, like trash. Why wouldn't that extend to people? Even if you did like someone, eventually your upbringing is going to influence how you react to situations, especially if who you liked is accused of doing horrible things. It couldn't be more indicative of their literal trash culture. This is all thematic. Gachiakuta has strong takes on classism and materialism, and I appreciate that. It's not just about a world of trash, it's about seeing people as trash too. I mean, look at the Sphere. They not only went out of their way to separate themselves from others they deem beneath them, they also created an entire ecosystem below full of trash without even thinking about it. The people within the walls reject those outside them. The people outside the walls reject the trash world below. That's classism to a T. But the materialism element is one I particularly like, not just because it feels fresh in anime, but because everything in the series is built around it, including Rudo's character. This is part of why he stands out so much. When you see these things happen to him, you think it's going to be another edgelord revenge story, but that's not what you get at all, because at his core, Rudo is kind. In a world full of trash, he sees the value in things others do not.
Yeah, he's a kind soul, unfortunately. Okay. And the thing about being a kind soul, I can speak from my own anecdotal experience, is that people will shit on you. Okay? Yeah. people will fucking shit on you. They will walk all over you if you allow them to. So the thing is, stay kind-hearted. You should always remain kind-hearted if that's who you are at the core of your being, at the core of your character. But don't be a dumb nigga, okay? Don't be fucking stupid. Don't allow people to pull the wool over your eyes. Keep your eyes open, analyze everything, question everything. You can still be a kind soul, you can still have a good heart, but you still have to understand that not everybody moves like that. Not everybody thinks like that. And some people will abuse your kindness in order for them to benefit from it, okay? And then once they're done benefiting from your kindness, they will discard you, all right? So, yeah. Just side note, be a good person, but don't be a stupid person, okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's get back to it.
Despite the rage inside him, we see him try to de-escalate conflict constantly when it comes to people he has no reason to fight. He tries putting himself in other people's shoes like Zanka and apologizes for his mistakes. He tries using words before fists. When he's taken in by the cleaners in the trash world, and he literally tells them he's only using them to get back to the surface, it caught me off guard to not only see him get called out for it, but that he immediately understood that was a dick move on his part. The revenge angle is cool because there isn't a clear target. Lots of revenge stories stem from either losing a loved one, getting betrayed, or facing some form of injustice. Rarely do you see one that fits all three categories, but that's what Rudo's is. Yes, there is an assassin who killed Regto, but Rudo doesn't know who that is. And his issues are with the system itself, not just individuals. His public banishment showed all of society is corrupt and broken. Killing the assassin wouldn't complete his revenge. A lot of characters would isolate themselves and spiral in this situation, while Rudo does the opposite. After being abandoned, he's never been less alone, and I think there could be a really cool payoff there. We're still early in the series, and there's a lot of subtle things that I'm still trying to pick up on, but there is one in particular that explains Rudo's character perfectly. His fascination with trash directly stems from feeling like he was thrown away by his biological parents.
It's very psychological. You know, he goes around collecting garbage and recycling the garbage, you know, finding new usage for the garbage as opposed to just discarding it and acting like it still doesn't have any value to it the way most people do. So he goes digging, looking for garbage that he can, you know, reconstruct and give a new life to, essentially. You know, it's very psychological because he does feel like he was thrown away. He was discarded as if he was trash, as if he was garbage. You know, so it's very psychological why he does that. And I think it makes perfect sense, you know? It makes perfect sense to me. So yeah, okay.
He was discarded and he has value. So that's why he sees value in objects that are discarded by others. It couldn't be more fitting in a story that literally centers around materialism. His powers are a direct extension of these beliefs too. I would imagine this will lead to some thematic fights more based on perspective than strength, which is why the power system of Gachiakuta is so damn cool. There's a reason everyone raves about it, and I get it.
They're called vital instruments, right? The power that they have is essentially they're givers. They have the power to give inanimate objects life. They have the power to give objects life, like I said, which is known. Those objects will then be known as their vital instrument, right? But what makes Rudo especially different and special in this case is that his gloves are his vital instrument. And the thing about his gloves is that whatever his gloves touch end up becoming a vital instrument. They end up coming to life and you know, like it's such a cool concept. It's such a cool premise. And yeah, man, this shit's fire.
Not only is it unique, but it's expansive. I'm not going to pretend like I fully understand it, but if I even kind of have this right, the possibilities are literally endless. From what I gather, items all have a kind of sentience, and if you are attached to that item, you can unlock the power of it. Givers like Rudo are special. They have the ability to do that on not only one item, but virtually any object. Or at least that's what I thought initially. But the Jabber fight changed the whole dynamic to me, because he drew out the power of an object using the intentions placed on it by someone else. Grease said his amulet protects him, and when Rudo grabs hold of it, it expands to him literally being unable to be harmed. harmed. Later on, Remlin uses art to add protection to people. This basically gave those people one free shot at death they could survive. Yes, it's cool, but if you extrapolate that out, you could have the most OP power set I can even imagine. What if the intention behind an item is to kill something? Does that become an insta-kill device? Could medical devices become tools capable of resurrection? Could explosives become nukes? Could the right intention lead to someone becoming invincible or even immortal? I genuinely don't see an end to the potential, which makes what the people of the Sphere did, in hindsight, so funny. Maybe sending the guy who actually sees the value in every piece of trash in existence to a world full of it wasn't a great plan on their part, because when he figures out what he's doing, he could become unstoppable. But I haven't done a lot of actually getting into why we needed him yet. When you think about shonen protagonists, they'll usually fall into two categories. There are people who see the good in everyone, like Deku, Asta, or Naruto, and then people like Eren or Ginu who just want to kill their enemies. He's a unique blend that incorporates both perspectives into one. Because of that, you can't put him in a specific box or mold. Think about it. How many shonen leads are like him, ones who simultaneously see value in everything around them and also want to take the lives of those who wronged them? He's the only one I can think of. To me, his confrontation with...
He's a very nuanced character, and I do appreciate that about Rudo. You know, he's not one-sided, he's not one-dimensional, he's very nuanced. There are multiple... He's multifaceted as far as his personality, you know? On one side, he's so understanding and tries to empathize with other people. But on the other side of the coin, he's he's trying to get his get back. That boy want his lick back. You know what I mean? He's trying to, yeah. He said, oh, you thought it was sweet. All right, watch this.
Amo is the best example of why he's different. When his memories are triggered, he sees loss, betrayal, and relives being thrown away by people and a system. This enrages him, and he pounds this skinny chick into a pulp. Right away, 90% of shonen leads would never consider doing anything like that. But what really separates him is that after, he feels genuine remorse for this and understands he crossed the line. No one told him to, he did it on his own. And then he showcases some serious self-loathing about it. But as Engine says, realizing when you slip is all you need to grow. It's hard to think of any other character who could go through both of these extremes in such a short span of time. He genuinely wants to be better. A lot of heroes get stuck in the mess up, yell, power up loop. That's not Rudo at all. When Rudo does lose his temper or start yelling, we understand the underlying reasons why this is. There's a lot of vulnerability to his character, and he accepts help when it's offered. He seems like someone who, once he fails, won't fail that same way again. His mistakes aren't glorified and usually aren't played off as jokes. His flaws are treated like flaws in world. This allows him to reflect, apologize, and grow. A lot of shonen leads get stronger. Rudo gets better. He also has a childlike innocence, a sincerity to him. What comes with that are childish actions too. Again,
that was one of the funniest scenes ever. This was hilarious, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
What comes with that are childish actions too. Again, this duality makes him feel fresh. So does the contrast of being socially awkward, and yet despite that, he's building new relationships every episode. Those relationships with others have shown us a lot about him. With Chiwa, he was gentle. Meanwhile, with Sanka or Engine, he's more over the top and reckless. With people like Grease, he's protective. Rio makes him nervous. And Amo, through her ability, shows us that despite being understanding towards others, there is still a ton of rage within him. Sure, on their own, these things aren't new. Reflection isn't new, neither is reckless behavior or a revenge story. But when you look at every piece of the Rudo puzzle and how it's put together, I think it's one of the more refreshing takes on a shonen lead I've seen in a while. I enjoy that he has competing desires between revenge and simply wanting to be happy, to have friends and protect them.
But these are just natural human desires, you know, which is one of the reasons why I love anime, because they touch on subjects that, you know, are so rooted in reality, you know, as far as people and people's desires and people's intentions, people's motives, etc. They touch on these subjects and they make it so normal, you know, within a world that is so not normal, you know? So, yeah, it's one of the reasons why I love anime so much. And Rudo is a very, very nuanced character who has multiple sides of him. And I appreciate that. He's one of the better characters of the newer anime, you know, like 2025, 2024, like recent anime, he's one of the best main characters for sure.
I'd all be surprised if this became something he has to choose between later in the series. I didn't know I wanted a character like this until I started digging into him more. He makes me see protagonists a little differently, and I'd like to see more like him. That doesn't make him better or others worse, but he's certainly different, and this is only the beginning. There's a lot I still feel like I need to figure out about Rudo, but I like that. Don't get me wrong, I like series that get right into things, but I also appreciate a good slow burn story, and I think Gachiakuta falls into that category.
Okay.
We're still slowly peeling back the layers of his story and the world. His hands, his gloves, the actual explanation of how his powers works, and plenty more. I don't mind waiting, even if I can hypothesize things now. More than anything, I really want to see where things go. I want to see both of his competing desires challenged. I want to see Chiwa again. I want to see him escape the trash world, but I also want him to take his sweet time to do it, because the world he's in right now is full of endless possibilities.
I think that was a good breakdown of Rudo as a character. I think that he's one of the, like I said, one of the better characters in recent anime. Main characters specifically. He's not one-sided, which I feel like a lot of characters are. Like one anime I can never watch, and some people look at me crazy when I say it, but I can't. I don't like One Punch Man. I don't like animes like One Punch Man where it's no story. It's just this one-sided, one-dimensional ass character who's just, I'm strong. That's it. It's like, nah, bro. Like, I like nuanced characters who have, you know, layers to them. You know, who you get to see them grow as people. You get to see that they're not just the stereotypical main character of a shonen anime, right? So, yeah, I'm giving Rudo his flowers. We still got more to go. Gachiakuta just got greenlit for a second season. If you can't wait for the second season, then by all means, feel free to go check out the manga, you know? But yeah, man, Gachiakuta is so tough. It's so tough, and Rudo is a great main character. All right. Instead of rambling, guys, I'm going to just end it right here. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.